Welcome back.
So much
to the
salt.
Guildhall Podcast, an actual play RPG podcast. We are back with the new season of Inquisition, folks.
Yay!
Yay!
Garreth Kane, please introduce yourself and your retinue.
My name is Paul Cyphers.
That was not the voice.
The Guildhall Podcast. I know. I'm aware. Hang on. I'm doing a thing. Okay, there we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing? My name is Inquisitor Garreth Kane. There we go. And tonight, joining me is none other than my. I almost said my acolyte, but he is no longer an acolyte. He is
No longer.
He is now a full-fledged Inquisitor himself. Trenos.
Heth. Played by Robert.
Trenos, introduce yourself. Yeah.
Yes, Traders Heth. After being the what's it called again? Not sidekick. Interrogator of the interrogator of the Lord Inquisitor, he has ascended to Inquisitor rank of the anti-demon guy, is Ordo Malleus himself.
Mm-hmm. You're correct.
Right.
Also joining
And
me,
he's morally opposed to everything which Inquisitor Garreth Kane is currently doing.
Well, I believe at the end of the last game we had a conversation, and maybe this game there's going to be a change of pace.
The last 10 minutes of our game last season were savage because we were so morally opposed to everything.
I believe also joining us is a large spindly magos of some sort. He is why don't you introduce yourself, my Adeptus Mechanicus friend.
Yes, I am Rickard, and I'm playing as the Keno Cutter, Explorator. He's not spindly. He's actually bulky. But he's not as bad as the other previous guy the other guy we know.
The other guy that we don't actually know him, but yeah.
The other guy who's half Adeptus Mechanicus and half weapons platform.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which we did not know about until last game. Unveiled.
I would have said you had a type if I hadn't realized that you rolled that. And
We're
that
also
was...
two different people.
Yes.
Right.
We're also two different players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Who is
both
the
mutants.
other?
Yes.
Who is the other player? I believe we have a. Actually, I don't know. What,
your new
Victor is like a
interrogator.
pilot, I believe.
Yep.
You is also your new interrogator, good sir. Because you hired him.
Yeah, but you tried to hire
Unless
me.
you want to retcon this from last season. That
No,
is
he
literally
tried to
one
hire
of the last things you did.
He tried to hire me,
Yeah,
and I said
don't know
no.
if I succeeded.
Oh.
Kenok and Victor, I don't believe I've ever actually successfully hired, but yeah, they're in my retinue all the same, which means they're you know.
I'm sorry, I thought Victor had accepted. I might have mistaken that. So
I don't
please.
remember.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
Victor.
you're good.
Yes. I am Victor Edonius. I am the pilot / Voidmaster of this of the
Voidmaster.
Emperor Takia. I guess if that's still the name we're going for.
Right.
It says there.
I believe that was the name that we joked about sticking with.
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to. I think it would be a good idea to
I mean, it says on the side of the ship, apparently.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm the pilot and the Voidmaster, so I try to keep tight rein on your personnel. I don't know about if there's been any time skip or if we're jumping back into exactly where we were last time, but I have lost my leg and have a pig leg now.
There's going to be a time jump of 4 days.
Ooh, 4 days.
All
And
right.
then I've been in the med bay for those 4 days, I think.
Would you be so kind as to remind us what happened, or remind the viewers as to what happened last season, I guess?
Okay. How far back do you want me to go?
It's been a lot.
Last season?
Okay. So, to understand the events of last season, we have to talk about early Garreth Kane on Cadia.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it turns out Garreth Kane, when he was on Cadia, during the fall of Cadia, he had a friend. For forgive me, I'm looking at the friend's name. And I have to look up the rest of my notes. Okay, Inquisition. There it is. Arminius Zond. Lexicon Arminius
Lexicon.
Zond. Okay.
Yes.
So he had a friend, Lexicon, and the two of them served in the militia, military, whatever, in Arcadia together in Cadia together as Cadia fell. And the good Lord Inquisitor, Garreth Kane, had a request from his friend to basically end his life if basically he fell to the forces of chaos that was basically assaulting the planet. And when it came time for the good Inquisitor to fulfill that promise, he missed. He missed his shot. And his friend was pulled into the warp. Fast forward to the events of the current game, where we have seen, firsthand, the Shadow War, which was Season 1, which I'm not going to recap. And after the events of the Shadow War, Inquisitor Garreth Kane has gotten a promotion. So he went to Chaxis Prime, which was sort of the Imperial Inquisition hub in this region of space, in order to receive said promotion. And it turned out he had also recommended that his trusty
Psyker.
What was the rank previous? Interrogator. His
Interrogator
would also be receiving a promotion on that
I
time.
believe he skipped a rank from Acolyte straight up to because he went through a lot.
No, actually.
I thought
Kinda
he was.
Okay.
I thought it wasn't actually. Yeah, I think it worked out fine. Anyway,
I
so
mean, yeah.
Tranos ended up becoming an Inquisitor, and Garreth Kane is now a Lord Inquisitor. And then Garreth Kane receives a communique from his childhood friend. And he goes and sort of tries to find him in that communique. And it turns out the former friend of his apparently has joined an organization which is very similar to the Inquisition, but apparently is aligned with chaos. And
So
they
we're
managed.
calling them the Dark Inquisition, I guess, right?
I have not given an official designation for it. This is what your characters are calling it in game. Is what your characters are calling it in game.
True enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
True enough.
Yeah. So Black Inquisition, Dark
Designation Dark Inquisition.
whatever you want to call it. So there is a Dark Inquisition. So it turns out that he managed to break into the sort of vaults on Chaxis Prime and activate a weapon that was designed to keep away the whatchamacallits, the Tyranids, and he managed to what's the classic sci-fi term? Reverse the polarity and call the Tyranids to the planet rather than sending it away, which caused a massive Tyranid invasion of the sector. And then the shit got real. So while
It wasn't real enough yet.
So while the Inquisitor was on planet dealing with the ramifications of an enormous Tyranid invasion happening now, Tranos basically was able to take command of Lord Inquisitor's brand new ship, the Emperor's IKEA, which is the official designation. And he basically was able to... What's the term? You
Marshal the forces.
You managed to marshal the forces and also basically recover enough shit to actually make your ship very, very nicely functional.
Which is how this Imperial vessel got its name.
Yep. And so the good Lord Inquisitor ends up falling into a trap from his former childhood friends and accepts a minor deal in order to get him out of the trap with someone who we do not know who that figure is, but we're definitely sure that he's demon aligned. And this has caused a certain amount of taint on the good Lord Inquisitor, which Tranos was very upset about when Tranos saw. But Tranos was also dealing with a lot of other stuff. So he has the good Lord Inquisitor arrested and put into the brig, while the good Lord Inquisitor basically has to figure out a way to get himself out of this mess before Tranos gets him out of this mess for him. Well, Traynus gets, yeah. And good on the good Lord Inquisitor. He managed to solve that problem and managed to expel the demon from his body himself. Which actually means he is now immune from that from this point forward. He's actually completely immune from that taint now because he actually forcefully removed the demon from himself. So, now that all of this
I'm one
happened,
of the illuminated.
Now that all of this has happened, we are now faced with the problem that, okay, good Lord Inquisitor is sort of okay, although Traynus is very pissed off at him, but we still have the problem that the Tyranids are here. So they devise a plan. The plan is rather simple. They are going to take out the lead hive ship of the Tyranid invasion while they activate the beacon to call the Tyranids down onto Traxxas Prime, and then they're basically going to destroy Traxxas Prime with as much of the Tyranid army as they possibly can. So they have to split up. Some of the crew decide to go down to planet. Some of the crew have to stay on ship in order to get it done, and their friendly acolyte, who is member of an ordo that no one has ever heard of, and I have to look up the name again if I wanted to remember the name of, he basically had to go down to the planet because he was the only one who actually knew how this thing functioned and was able to get it working. That was Bob? No, that was
Bobinius.
That was Bobinius? Yes, that was Bobinius. And then
Probably. Kevin too.
Was Kevin just the random guy that ended up becoming Robert?
Yeah, Kevin was a random guy who is now my interrogator because he had
he's still around. Yeah.
He has a D6 in the thing he was good at, and he aced every roll. He got a field promotion right there.
That's Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Kevin. Yeah, it was Bobinius on the other hand. Bobinius basically was a tech priest who was used to basically design very advanced weaponry for the Inquisition, and he was the one who actually designed the beacon. So he was the only one who would be able to basically retrofit it to work again on planet side and to call people down. So there is a massive space battle as well as a massive land battle as the two forces attempt to sort of hold ground until they can basically accomplish their mission. And the good Inquisitor does manage to take out the ship and then takes his sweet ass time getting back to the planet. And by the time he arrives back, just barely, like literally the last possible round that it would be believable that the people on planet side survived, he manages to get back to the planet and warp them back onto the ship. But Tech Priest Bobinius was given a pistol and basically told that if the time comes, use the pistol. And he did right before he would have been rescued. But go back, listen to the episode. It was completely believable to that individual at that moment that he was going to die.
Yeah.
I thought they were all going to die. Why did it take me so long?
Because you asked your pilot to get back. Your pilot was knocked out and in the med bay.
Was I just rolling?
Leg. You rolled poorly and you are not a pilot. And you had to pilot the ship for some reason.
So that was it. I was just rolling like shit.
You were rolling like shit when you were trying
to...
you
were rolling like shit.
Yeah. All right.
And
you were a wild card, so I guess that was
the defense on the planet was barely escaping by too. Like every single round, they had to do more and more damage to sort of hold the tide off, and they were barely managing to do it. Like all their defenses went down. Their allies, who was basically working artillery onto them, had already gone down. It was basically at it, and the building was starting to come down. So it was literally the last possible second that everything managed to do. But
I'm kind of upset that we didn't get to save the artillery guys who actually helped us a shitstorm.
Oh yeah,
during
the
this
artillery
thing.
guys, valiant artillery guys went down, saving your ass.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yep.
See, those are the kinds of guys I want to hire right now, because in the middle of a combat, they stand their ground and they fucking help us despite the danger for themselves.
I have a really
remember the planet.
I know the planet got exploded. Yes.
There is a good quote here that I'm not going to be able to figure out what it possibly could be, but there is sort of the absolute valiant, the absolute I can't think of the words, but I'm just saying like the moment when the Inquisition, when the Imperium was sort of at its worst, is the moment when the people on the ground were at their best. Like, I don't know what the proper way to phrase that. There's a very perfect quote there that if I was a smarter person, I would come up with right now, and that would be my quote, but I can't think of it, so we're moving on. So
I don't remember 100%, but it's something is like when the times are darkest, both the brightest and the humanity shines the brightest, or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, something along those lines. Like, yeah. I was gonna say that I know there's like a very pithy thing that I could come up with if I was smarter, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was pretty much all of the events, with the exception of one thing, which I think the characters are going to get to in person. And so, going back a little bit, back to the previous season, the Shadow War, Lord Inquisitor Garreth Kane was introduced to a Eldar who was dead and already in a what's the thing they're in? What's the term for that?
Soul gems? I don't know.
Soulstone.
Soulstone. Okay.
And he was in a Soulstone, and he basically was, and there goes the good Lord Inquisitor. He was a prophet for the Eldar, and Garreth Kane basically was introduced to that individual way back when, and that individual showed up again when Garreth Kane was in the sort of last moments of basically fighting for his life from the demon control and casting the demon out of his body. And apparently there is some sort of prophecy related to the good Lord Inquisitor, that there is a battle in the good Lord Inquisitor's future. And we'll find out more about that this season, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
How is everyone doing?
God,
Because we just lost our good Lord Inquisitor.
Oh, we did.
I'm looking back at.
Yeah, he crashed you.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm currently looking back at some of the discussion, and I see Jurgen writing, like lies crumpled in the corner. Immediately afterwards, cannot cut the rolls a repair test. I bring out the soldering iron. I don't have heal. Apparently, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah. Things are not didn't go super well on planet side. I want to admit it.
Actually, Trados. Victor Donius wasn't. Yeah, that was Victor.
Oh, that was Victor writing it. I'm sorry. Yeah,
he wasn't on planet side.
Yeah,
but apparently we put him in a corner, and I just tried to solder him. 22 on the repair test, so I think it worked.
Right, I wanted to spend some points in order to heal him, that I realized with all the minuses I would probably kill him. So I was just like, you know what? No, let's not.
I want to be clear on this, because I don't fudge my rolls, and I don't even know if it's possible to fudge my rolls. I have no clue how you guys survived last turn. And I have no clue why it took him so long to rescue you last turn. It was just sort of like at the last absolute.
Oh my god!
On both sides.
I know why. Because I know why it took him so long. Because he got his own ship stuck in the Tyranid ship.
Yeah. I mean, we were stuck in the Tyranid ship, and he had to blast himself out and then fly out. I mean, that's how we were able to get in there to begin with. I had to fucking pierce the Tyranid ship.
But that was also.
That's how Victor got fucked as well.
Yeah. But that was also part and parcel to the whole thing. Like the whole situation was set up so that there would be a mounting amount of threat that you would have to keep dealing with in order to keep surviving. So everyone planet side had this very large mounting thing, and in typical RTS fashion, you guys had some things working in your favor in the beginning, but those things slowly get whittled down and whittled away. It's like, oh, okay, so I built up all these defenses, and now I watch as all those defenses get rolled over. Yeah.
You allowed more damage on burst power, so I just started channeling fire, and I made my rolls, despite the massive minus from being in the middle of a Tyranid Swarm. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you were also very pissed off all of last season because you had the Tyranid screaming in your head because you're a freaking psycho.
I think traders played that to a T by being on very short nerves the whole thing, because I'm splitting headache 90% of the time. Please use simple words.
Welcome back, good Lord Inquisitor.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on tonight with my internet. I apologize if I cut out. Apparently, it's really windy over here, and I don't know. It's just everything's.
Let's just hope for the best.
Yeah, everything's getting jink on my end. I don't know what the fuck it is.
So I have finished everything I need to discuss for the recap. So back to the group.
Fantastic. So wait, where are we right this? There we go. Yeah. Where am I right now?
You're on the bridge of a very fancy vessel.
Is this the Emperor's IKEA?
No.
Then you probably need to fill in more information, dear Paul.
Is it the dream vision of the one in the water?
You're in a Crusade era vessel.
There you go.
You see the absolute beautiful, the ornate design of the throne that probably the head of one of the one of the Space Marine chapters would sit in as he commands all of his loyal followers on this vessel. And the sword is straight through your gut. And it is currently pinning you to the chair. And you're looking into the face of the demon, and you drop the weapon. The one weapon you have in all of this. You drop to the ground, and you clutch the sword as it's plunged through your abdomen. Do you want to say anything currently?
To the demon?
Yeah.
Or do you mean like in this this dream or this thing?
Yes. How would you react? You're in the situation.
I would grab onto the sword, and I would hope to say, curse you, demon, and try and pull the sword back out of me and kill the motherfucker with this thing.
Okay. Go ahead, make some sort of roll. You're at a -3 from wounds.
Okay, I'm gonna say we're just gonna roll strength -3 from this. Oh wait, I can do it on here. There we go. Oh, beans.
Okay, so you hear a crunch sound, and you can no longer feel your legs, and you sort of.
It goes my spine.
You sort of get like that tunnel vision as you're sort of losing consciousness, and you just sort of see that weapon on the floor. It is a very crudely designed, you would say, dagger. It's not a very big sword. It looks almost like it is a flint blade, and it is like just out of reach from your hand as you come to and you wake up back in your room.
You still don't feel your legs.
Oh, shit.
That would be the worst. If you go paralyzed in your dream, you're paralyzed in real life.
You still see the dagger.
Do I still see the dagger?
No, the dagger's not on the floor.
You remember, the demon had a very crispy face, a fedora, and a striped t-shirt. No, wait, it's just regular shirt.
What fucking does that for a reference? Oh, shit, yeah, I didn't... Okay. Well played.
I kind of get up and stand there and take a look around and kind of compose myself. By the Emperor, I have to come to it. I have to change my ways, and I head out. I get dressed for the day, do my thing, and put on the ceremonial garb that is worn around the ship, and head out to talk to my fellow Inquisitor Tranos.
Okay, so as you leave your room,
If this is our dream sequence.
Okay, you take 27 damage as the demon slams you into the ground, and then you wake up.
Wait, have I taken the 27 damage?
No.
That's just mean.
Oh, you're confusing your players.
Yeah.
You're fine now. You're actually awake.
Okay, it was double dreaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, in this
Whammy
situation,
dreaming.
Inquisitor Garreth Kane gets up and he puts on his power armor because fuck the ceremonial guards. Last time, that wasn't the right thing to put on. And so he dons himself in a. He happens to just have a centurion suit, and he gets in that. And as it closes around him, he walks to the bridge. No, I go to the bridge. Or I go to someone. God, anyone, please.
Do you want to go talk with one of your members of the crew and figure out what the fuck you're going to do this season?
Yeah. That's why I said go to Tranos before.
Okay.
I still go to Tranos.
Because you guys
demon
are supposed to
almost
be working
slammed
out what
that
you're
up
doing
in
this
the
season.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, that's a. All right, how about this? Let's start with let's go with Inquisitor Tranos. Just a one-on-one with him first.
He is in the temple to the god emperor, where he has been for a great amount of time over the past days, following ceremonies, leading ceremonies. He's getting very chummy with the sister sororitas who are there.
Of course.
You didn't end up having
I'll
sister
get you
sororitas. They died.
bitches later.
So what?
Yeah,
I thought
all
you didn't
Sister
end up-
Sororitas was on the planet.
Yeah, they were
I
on
think.
their own ship. They died. You had a few soldiers, but not the sister sororitas.
Okay.
They were on the planet, and we were. Oh, they didn't get out.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah,
didn't
no,
get
they
out.
didn't make it,
Yeah.
bud. That was the whole thing. They didn't make it.
But that's okay. Actually, it doesn't really matter because there would still be sister sororitas, but they would not be the military arm. Basically, the non-military sisters. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yes, probably some sort of
because
nuns regardless.
They have the skill set I require.
Ecclesiarchs.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. So I go in and I suppose. So let me set the scene, I guess, a little bit better. Do I walk in? Tranos is kind of
probably kneeling, and a priest puts like holy oil onto his head.
Okay. I'll wait until like the priest walks away. Like
He's probably going down a line or something of people who are praying there currently. This whole ship has gotten a high surgency of prayers and anointments lately over the past days.
I'm going to go up. I'll do my whole thing, the Emperor deliver us and all that other good stuff, and I walk around the front and come back down to towards where Tranos is and try and sit next to him, just so I can try and have some sort of. I would assume Tranos isn't surrounded by 300 people, so I would hoping that I can whisper to him and have like a somewhat of a conversation.
I guess when he sees you coming, he kind of moves a little bit to the side so the two of you have privacy.
Oh, thank you. So Inquisitor Garreth Kane pulls up a seat and says, Tranos, how are you?
Oh, still surviving.
Excellent.
How are you, Lord Inquisitor?
Not well. The words that you've spoken to me last time, they've haven't settled in. They have settled in, and I believe I believe it is time you and I have a conversation about our future as inquisitorial brothers in arms, and I feel it would be best that the two of us work together, and as opposed to fighting against one another. And I find it would be best if I tell you some of the things that have been happening, and at that point,
is this a confession? Because at this point we are in the right place, or else do you wish to talk to the Inquisitor? At which point I will take on my garb in full, and we will meet in the conference room.
No, Tranos. This is something I wish to deal with you on a personal level.
That person is no longer available.
Okay. Gonna make this real difficult.
You may speak to the Inquisitor, and you may command those due to your rank of authority, but you may not speak with the friend you once knew.
What the hell is this? Oh dear. Okay. Garrett kind of understands that this just isn't going to work, and shakes his head and says, "Very well. We're having a meeting in the conference room within the hour. I expect to see you."
I will be there immediately, Lord Inquisitor.
Excellent. I head over, and I suppose I inform the rest of the retinue and the those that need to be there. Any other acolytes? They are to be in attendance, and it's
as a gesture which might be spite or something. When the Lord Inquisitor Kane exits the temple, he rises. The Inquisitor Trados rises up and raises his hands, and for the Emperor, we shall see to that all the enemies of mankind shall be delivered to the light of the burning flame. But he will be at the meeting in an hour later.
Oh no! Lord help us, or Emperor help us.
You have created a zealot, okay?
Yeah, yes, I sure have. Okay. We are going to. We're at the meeting, I suppose. We're going to sit down and.
Is it the two of us, or is the rest of the party also there?
That's what I was saying. The whole party, everybody, acolytes included, whoever it is that's need to know for deciding the future, I think should be there.
Interrogator Kevin is with us, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. Any acolytes that are under you.
From my side, he is the NPC.
Any of my unnamed acolytes. Yes. Any of my unnamed acolytes are in the pews.
I guess
there's a candle.
The command staff is there.
There's a candlelit shrine for Bobinius.
Mm-hmm.
All hail Bobinius. Yeah.
He just had to shoot himself in the head. He would have made a great servo skull.
Oh no. Well, I have good news, and I reach in my pocket and take out Bobinius' skull. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you gave him a gun. They are pretty powerful.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be such a good relic in the 40k universe.
Sure,
you have no fucking idea. So good.
Okay, so I guess we're all sitting there. We're all gathered around, and I say, okay, to the retinue, and say, all right, so we have a lot to do. We have before us an incredible amount of tasks lay before us. There are quite a few paths that we can go, and at this point, I'm going to pull up, I've created a dossier for everybody in terms of the ways that we can go. And this is where you can kind of tell us, what are the possible venues we could go down, I suppose.
So for places that are completely loyal to the Imperium, that are completely in the Imperium, okay, I can't say completely loyal. There's a lot of rogue traders and stuff in this area of space who are technically loyal to the Imperium, but they're rogue traders. On the other hand, you do know of a few worlds that are supposedly historically sort of Imperium controlled, but they've sort of fell out of, how can I put this? Fell out of
contact.
Pretty much, they haven't been contacted in a few hundred years. That you could probably start with as sort of all right, let's see who's still out there after all is said and done. So, you probably want to. Your biggest issue in for the long term right now is sort of making sure you have continual supply lines and stuff like that, because you don't currently. Outside of outside of trading with the rogue traders or attempting to use your clout with the rogue traders. But if the rogue traders have also heard that the Inquisition in this area has just been destroyed, they might not listen to you anymore.
So it seems to me like the biggest thing that we need to do is establish that this is an inquisitorial location, and with the Emperor's IKEA, which, I mean, why would you be scared? The Emperor's IKEA, we're going to cement that power and go in and show, hopefully, these smaller planets, you're going to listen to us or else.
Sorry, what was
May
that?
I suggest that we find an Imperial Navy base in order to simply take the ships we require to impose that might.
Right.
Yeah, so
okay.
that would be a journey of weeks that would take you back towards the core.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's that bad. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this area of space, this was the Imperial power in this area. So you're fine with taking a few weeks to sort of head back to the core if that's what you want to do. So long as you actually have the resources to make that journey. And currently, basically, as I was saying, like your supplies and stuff like that, you probably have a few days worth of supplies for your ship and everyone who's currently sort of in operation.
So what is the nearest then? Oh, so the areas around the planets around us are basically backwater feudal planets.
So yeah, so what I was sort of getting at is like the major powers in the area, the things that control like the most amount of land are the rogue traders in the area, but like you do have a few areas that used to fall under Imperial control that you just haven't that hasn't had like an visit from the Imperium in like 200 years. Like all of those planets are like still available if you sort of like head to them. So the closest Imperial system to you guys is a system called Caltano.
Okay.
Caltano.
I look at Kevin. What do we know about this place?
What the hell is on Caltano? Would trade warfare tell us anything? Scholastic astromancy? Trade warfare?
What?
Scholastic astromancy. It's knowledge about maps.
I'll give that to you.
I mean, it might be outdated charts, but we might tell us if there's
That's what I'm
something.
saying. I'll give that to you.
Yeah, I'll bend it that. We need to know stuff. There we go. 3. Nope. I still don't know. Nothing. Nothing new. Nothing current.
Anybody else want to try a roll?
That sounds like a shithole.
Look, the moment when we fight the demons and psychers, I can shine with my knowledge skills, but currently no. I don't even know what Remembrancer is actually for knowledge.
It's a trade. It's essentially creating like the poetry and shit to remember.
Great.
For stuff.
It's one of those weird skills that was in 40k.
It was, and I took it.
It was a perfectly logical one, actually.
Okay, so according to all the information that you sort of had, is they used to be on a trade route. They basically serviced a large amount of minerals and whatchamacallits.
Shit, we lost our rogue trade. We lost our Lord Inquisitor again.
No,
we lost him on roll 20 at least.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Shit! Did you?
Yeah. So apparently, it used
to
have.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
So apparently, they used to put out a large amount of metals and materials, and they also had a large mining colony. Apparently.
And the name of the place was
Caltano.
Caltano with a C or a K?
With a C. Caltano.
Mm? Caltano. It's a mining colony. Yeah. Apparently lots of materials and mining.
But I will.
Doesn't sound like a military.
This colony did have a few million people, so it's large enough that you could.
It's a labor force.
Recruit.
Yeah.
Labor force.
All right.
Well, I mean,
Shrine World, anything nearby along the way?
This is what I'm saying.
It's really
You're talking about going back towards the core, or you're talking about searching the area. Yeah.
It's a long shot. I just wanted to know if
specifically
there's anything out of the ordinary or something.
Yeah. Specifically, I've called out very specifically this area of space was home to lots of rogue traders because it was literally so far from the core. You're
we're on the
edge. Yeah.
On the outer rim.
Okay.
So it tended to be less Imperial control. And unfortunately for you guys, you're Inquisitors.
If there's one place where we can start establishing power, it's in a mining colony. They can't fight back.
Well, I think that would actually.
If anything, some of the people on the mining colony should at least know demolitions. But that's if we're really lucky.
Well, why don't we go to this?
Remake some of the mining gear into weaponry as well, if necessary.
All right, so how about since we're all at a round table, I'll go around and ask each person what they think we should do for the I think starting with Tranos would be a great start in terms of what do you think we should do.
Go to the mining planet and start drilling and recruiting. I have a different idea of what also could be done, but it would require your authority, on which I would then act.
To do what?
I'm an Inquisitor who has no sway in the Empire due to the moment when I became Inquisitor. Those who could have given me that sway did not do so. My name is unknown. Your name, even before the Lord Inquisitorship, was unknown. If I could act as your right hand by pulling upon what you have on resources, then I might be able to see to or persuade those other course certain elements to help us. Maybe. I will do my best, at least, in that.
Of course, whatever it is you need, Tranos, do it as such.
I would need that both in writing and as your insignia, so they know that I act in your name, and they should treat me as such.
Are you talking about my rosette?
It's basically the whole. It's basically the equivalent of the interrogator rosette.
Okay, he's not. That's not what he's asking for. He's literally asking for it. He's asking for an official document saying that he acts in your name.
Yeah, except I don't need it as a document. I need it as something which can basically be like I am on his authority.
Okay.
He wants a badge to show that he's working
pretty much
with you. Because you're a more well-known Inquisitor than he is currently.
Yep.
I mean,
I see.
You still have a rosette, so you still have the Imperial authority.
Yeah. The problem is
to anyone
that
who cares about the rosette,
I have absolutely no clout except that I'm an Inquisitor. That doesn't help currently. It helps under certain circumstances, but not.
I think it would help in the same circles where Garreth Kane's authority would work.
Garreth Kane has been many years an Inquisitor. He actually has more sway than me.
I mean, maybe. We'll see, I guess. I figured, the threat of the Inquisitors is very much just, have you heard of the Inquisitors? The terrible Inquisitors over there somewhere. It doesn't matter who the Inquisitors is.
Anyway, that's what he says.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That's what he says.
Garreth Kane is confused and takes a couple minutes to write up, this guy's my dude here, and signs his name and everything to it, stamps the rosette onto it. Here you go, Tranos. Confused by this, he doesn't understand how it'll help, but okay.
Yep. Oh, that's fair. Don't worry about it. So next to me would actually be seated Kevin. So I guess he gets a say on this since he's also at the round table now.
I mean, I would assume Kevin gets that.
You wanted to go around, and he said you wanted to go around the table, and he is seated next to me. So I guess I turned to watch him. It's like, how can he?
I am going to defer. I am going to defer to my leader, the good Inquisitor Garreth.
Oh, look at him go!
Where are the? In fact, this is something which you know better than me. He kind of looks at the room in general, but where are any forces of the tech priests? Skitari or something would be a great boon to have.
I agree. Dune crawlers.
Are there any explorator ships?
That would fall upon you, Kinnick. Is there anything you can do?
Yeah, hang on.
Go ahead.
Forbidden Lore Adeptus Mechanicus?
That would be great.
Let's see.
All right.
That's a one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's a success, yeah. It's just, yeah.
It's just a +1, so.
Yeah, this is where it's annoying. He rolled a 1 on the additional dice.
Wild die.
Exploding dice?
Yeah.
I rolled the 1 on the exploding dice, actually.
So it turns out there is actually a Adeptus Mechanicus controlled system that is actually not spoken about. And it's
you go on.
Relatively close, but it's sort of like it's okay. So it's sort of further afield. So you have to go like deeper towards the edge of the galaxy. So so it's not close enough for like a resupply, but it could be an eventual destination.
Okay, so it is one of those places where we probably should go to
at some point, probably,
but not first. Not first, is what you're saying.
Why is it not spoken about?
Okay, so there are a few different groups in the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little more R&D focused, and they like to sort of work with some maybe heretical designs. To try to come up with some
heretics. I love it.
Try to come up with some new sort of functionality that doesn't necessarily go against the tenets of the Omnissiah, but they probably shouldn't be working on those
skirt
things.
The edge. They do Belisarius Call level skirting, I suppose, is what you're saying.
They are a cult in the tech priests who are just going, let's not be fully heretic. Because we like our jobs, but let's go as much as we can into the direction of heresy. Fucking lovely.
They might have been working with some, forbidden tech. Might have to do with abominable intelligence.
That's fine.
Yeah. For fuck's sake.
Hey, let's go talk about that.
Maybe.
But where is the line between AI and machine spirit anyway?
Where's the line between automaton and AI?
It's like they're really looking into the machine spirit. The machine spirit literally starts to talk back to them, and they're like, maybe we should investigate this a little further.
Yeah.
Good news. For
once. I point out the planets on the map and not say anything more about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's still
I just point out the planet.
Okay.
No need to say anything more.
Yeah.
And because it's Adeptus Mechanicus, it doesn't have a good name. It's like 10JQ487.
Okay. 10J 4Q87.
10JQ 487.
10JQ. There you go. Yeah, that's now its name.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a look at the star map around it and say, no, wait a minute. I think I've heard of an old. Think about like if there was an old Imperium stronghold somewhere around here.
Like you're lying about it, or you're like looking for one.
No. I'm like genuinely trying to think. Like, oh, is there an Imperial stronghold here? And I'm gonna do Knowledge Imperium and see if I can find it. Remember anything?
So, around your region of space, or you're talking about specifically 10JQ 487?
Oh, no, around our region of space. Like,
okay.
We've cemented 10JQ is a place possibly to maybe go to. We're also going to see if there's somewhere else that we can go that maybe I recall from annals of stories and such.
Okay, so as I said previously, there are probably some other stuff, but like none of them are like close enough for a resupply. That's like the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. Is there anything that maybe like that maybe we've forgotten about has been forgotten about?
You don't come up with anything additional. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Man,
don't know how
got success and everything. I was trying to. I'm up and like, oh man, here we go. Progress the plot, but everything.
Let me see. I'm gonna make a roll to see what the pirate havens are like around here. See if there are any pirate crews we can wrestle up and press gang into our service.
Okay.
Yeah, I have forbidden lord pirates because I used to be a pirate. That's a 5.
All right. Well, it turns out there is a pirate fleet that has recently lost their leader.
Oh.
What's his name?
Morin.
God
Mad
damn
Crowder.
it.
Mad Crowder, yeah.
No.
Yeah, Mad Crowder fleet has recently lost their commander.
But that's on the other side of the
damn.
galaxy, right?
It's on the other side of the galaxy. Yes.
Yeah, that's unimportant.
Oh. For plot reasons, they are now here.
Wait,
I
I
wait,
went
guess I'll
actually
mention
partially
it.
back in time in order to be here now.
I thought this was on a very different part of the
No.
on the other side of a big giant drift.
No, this is.
No?
I've always
it's
set
all on
this
the same side.
close. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I have
fair
one
enough.
region. I have one region of space I care about, and that's this region of space.
Okay, never mind. I thought there
sure.
were 2 different reasons. All right, so Mad Crowder's pirate crew is leaderless, and we could try to wrestle our way in there if we want to try to make them imperialists.
Wait, how has Moran then not found out about the Tyranid invasion?
Because
yet?
we are bad at our job, and also it's the Inquisition. When you start asking questions about the Inquisition, that's normally not something where you get a shit ton of answers.
Do remember last season in Rogue Trader, Inquisitor Garreth Kane did show up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
At least in writing.
but like,
Yeah. That's also why, at first, when Robert was asking, I'm like, are you trying to get us to...
Also, I would like to point out we are actively avoiding the Inquisition in the Rogue Trader game.
Oh, yeah. Big
Yeah,
time.
Really helping our cause currently.
What I'm hearing is we could find a scattering of Tyranids coming into the other game soon.
Probably.
Anyway.
I can tell you, there's no group I don't want Gareth Kane to meet more than the one that has Card in it, or 03. And the Orc. I don't want him ever to find them. That's a terrible group.
It's actually probably becoming less heretical. It's actually becoming less heretical.
It's less
right
heretical
now,
this season than it was previous season. You're completely
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It still doesn't help that there's a screaming demon blade in the hands of the Rogue Trader currently. So we should probably still stay away from the Inquisition in that case. Anyway, let's continue.
But yeah,
right.
Mad Crowder died recently, so his pirate fleet is in turmoil and needs guidance.
Pirates.
Yeah, they're space pirates. I keep track of the locals. They could be a problem, but we could also use their chaos to press gang some new ships to our fleet.
By chaos, I hope you mean
Not literal.
the seven
whatever you
fleet
said,
they leave
not-
behind.
Not
Man.
the big sea chaos, the
Yeah.
little sea chaos.
I mean the chaos and confusion.
Ah,
I should say CNC
Hmm.
in the future to make you not immediately pull guns on me. I see.
or
the
perhaps disorganized.
Inquisitor doesn't look super happy about this, but he is like, oh, I guess.
If you want experienced people, pirates are pretty experienced. They lack morale and they lack leadership, but
And
with
usually
training,
gear,
they're better than
common
mine.
sense, loyalty.
Do we have records and or scribes which know about these rogue traders in the area?
This all comes down to your rolls. So if you make a successful roll, then yes, you do.
I know nothing about this shit.
What kind of knowledge would that be, I guess, then?
I'm willing to go investigation if you want to just do investigation. Otherwise, you're gonna be going with I think knowledge roll trader is a knowledge.
Yeah, probably knowledge roll trader seems.
Yeah, but it's probably a knowledge for rogue traders and not so much us.
Yeah, I mean it's probably.
It's a 5. It's a 5 on investigation for me.
Okay, so you basically get the rundown that you have from the Rogue Trader campaign. So immediately surrounding, like the big guys in the area is the former Boris, who is no longer with us. Then you have Donofencio. You have
Hector.
Yes.
Right? No, Hector is someone else. Yeah, Hector.
No, Hector was a sub guy.
Yeah, he was one of our sub guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gustavo Navidad
Gustavo,
and Gang
yeah.
Yao. Those are the big Rogue Traders in the area.
Guang is someone we haven't
And
interacted
by the
with
way,
at all, right?
Yes, there are people you haven't interacted with at Go, and every single one of them is not upstanding with the Imperium. Straight down the list, every single Rogue Trader in the area is not upstanding with the Imperium.
And the Morons are also there. The
Morons are created them to be pirates.
Again, they're not.
I bluntly turn towards Garreth Kane. How important is this to you?
So you also will have some sort of rumor and speculation of an individual known as Kravis.
I believe I've heard of Kravis. He's something of a shadow broker.
Lord Inquisitor Garreth Kane, how important is this to you? Because I have an idea which is, lack of a better word, radical.
I mean, you're talking to Inquisitor Garreth Kane. Radical is like his bit lately. I'm all ears. I'm open to suggestion. What is it, Tranos?
For the pledge of the services in the times to come, you give a blank check to a rogue trader house of your liking.
You're such a dick, Robert. You're trying to make yourself inordinately powerful in the other game.
You decree them free of all crimes committed until this point from the past.
And in return,
ships, people, wealth. We lack those things currently.
Add in that we allow a inquisitorial stronghold somewhere on one of these planets that's well guarded, and perhaps be able to push the Emperor's reach out this way. And I believe that
I'm sorry, Lord Inquisitor. This is a negotiation where I would be thoroughly unsuited to do it. This might be better for you. You have more experience in the ways of the Void Man.
You said it was your plan. You're confusing me.
No, I merely had an idea, but I lack the words nor the understanding of rogue traders. You have experience with those. I found them always weird, and I would be unable to show us.
Yeah, it's the neighborhood.
Seems they all have some sort of quirk, yes?
So it seems, yes, but as I said, my understanding is limited.
I know, dude. I looked up and I have his character sheet. I can see.
We want him back so badly. Man. You have no idea.
I do.
And then the neighborhood shows up in our hour of need.
And there's a bunch of puppets. Hi ho, here we go.
Right.
The machine spirits are singing, and it comes with its planet-cracking weapons and everything.
But it sounds like you guys have longer-reaching plans. Meanwhile, I should go prepare our destination for the mining planet while you guys discuss further. I mean, I don't see how much I can contribute to any future discussions.
I don't believe that we've we settled on definitely going to the mining planet first, have we?
I mean, okay, never mind.
It seems
Okay, I
to
guess
be
we should
at least
continue the
a
round discussion.
temporary stronghold.
Yeah, I'm asking what is the plan once we get to the mining planet? Are we going to set up
Recruit, set up, take those, cull the lines of those too weak in body and spirit until you have those which you can make to the core of an army.
Yeah,
and then
resupply
perhaps I feel
Yes,
as though Rogue Trader's Reach would be able to help us the most.
I mean, sure.
This
you wanna
is, this is
contact
not
the
me.
army, do that.
I'm not trying to work ourselves into either game. I genuinely think this is the right thing to do.
No. In fact, like, generally don't use just take one of the other rogue traders, which we barely have contact with, and try to strike a deal with them. Anyway, no, but you can call them towards us or meet with them along the way, and then we may have a negotiation there.
I think that's a good idea. We should establish some sort of trade routes around here, and again, set up some sort of inquisitorial stronghold. I believe the mining planet would be an excellent place to start for finding workers, for one.
We will see, but Lord Inquisitor, when you decide it, then that planet shall be the new stronghold.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying.
We'll see if it seems like a decent planet.
That's a very good point. We get there and there's just chaos spawning all over. We're just launching a nuke and saying, "All right, next."
Uh-huh. Who knows what ruins the miners have found from ancient civilizations?
Cannock, this mining planet, the tech priests surely have lots of knowledge about mining planets, and when we come to the planet, a thorough inspection of the planet and its goings on by you and yours would be innumerable knowledge which we would require.
In what capacity do you mean?
Yeah,
Can it be made into a stronghold strong enough to resist and to train potential millions of soldiers? Is the taint there too much? For that we will have other specialists, of course, but we are limited on those resources. By the way,
I believe taint is more your business.
Yes, the priests will have a say in this. I was going to ask about this, actually. A part of this ship should become a psyker ward for potential psykers we will be picking up. There are no black ships. Those exploded. Now it is up to us to recreate the Inquisition. I will take care of training them, but I require the bodies and the facilities necessary for them to not lose their minds in the warp.
So what do you need for such a...
Your ship is currently understaffed, so there's ample room.
Yes.
Just FYI.
Give me the place, and I will see to the wardings myself. Allow simply a section of the ship to become a no-go zone for the usual creation and guard it well.
Okay, so I just went ahead and typed up a little take as to what we should do. I said that we should explore the areas, set up a stronghold, set up supply lines with the road traders, and then after we've done that, investigate the Mechanicus, and hopefully they're not too fucking gone, and we can have them forge some sort of weapons for us. If they're too fucking gone, then, we wipe them out and redo. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes, seems good so far.
Yeah.
Yes, Victor, I want to stay as far away from the dream that has killed me 3 times at the beginning of each game. I don't think I want to go looking for the Dream Dagger and ship when we're like, hey, so we're understaffed in this huge fucking ship. Yeah, I think we need to get this shit staffed. So, number 1, set up a stronghold, a place where we can get recruits. And then we have to get our profit factor back by setting up supply lines. And once we have that going and we have things and maybe some other ships that can back us up, then we investigate the Mechanicus and hopefully they'll make us better. Does that make sense?
Okay. Something I feel like I missed. Was it a huge Inquisitor convention or something? Why were all of them in the same place. They're usually fairly spread around.
Yes, except they were there in order to hail a new Lord Inquisitor in their midst.
It was Kennick. You were actually correct. It was actually like a convention. That's really what was going on.
Inquisitor Con.
Okay, I feel like there seriously has to be some guys that didn't show up because they just didn't have time to get
Probably.
there.
It's just
that's
not
the
part,
whole thing.
not part of the
That is a
The
fair point, yes.
Inquisition only works as long as all of the members of the Inquisition are working. If you kill like 20 Inquisitors and it takes like 50 Inquisitors to run the entire sector, you're severely fucked.
Yes. Also, I would like to point out that someone actively worked to get as many Inquisitors at the same time to that planet in order to then wipe them out.
If I'm not
This
mistaken,
was
somebody was there and was like, "Yeah, I was called here." I didn't even get
exactly.
a word.
It was literally a coup, well planned and executed.
I am happy you remembered that plot point. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But all the data died, so we can't really investigate that shit anymore. So,
So I'm saying we need to that's one of the reasons why I keep saying let's reset up a nice stronghold in here, because like there is nothing out here. There's no way, even if let's say all 50 of those Inquisitors or whoever it was, that however many were destroyed, are still alive, they're disparate. So we have to create a place, so at the very least, where we can get them back together and like say, hey, here you can regroup, and then we can figure out what to do. You know what I mean?
Was gonna,
is this a stupid idea?
I was about to say, to answer your question, Kennock, to answer your question, Rickard, and I was going to mention this, but they sort of are brushing around the outside of this. You're completely correct. There's probably other Inquisitors who are away on planet who didn't heed the response in time to get back in time, and all the shit hit the fan before they even were able to do it. You're completely correct. Every single person they would know to contact is dead. It's like all the people they would usually make phone calls to, they're gone. So unless you guys can figure out how to send up a massive smoke spare and smoke smoke signal, and then I said flare. That's really confusing.
We get it, yeah.
Unless you're able to send up a massive signal to say, "Hey, Inquisitors, come here. We're back. Here we are." You're not.
Except
really
that you would also be inviting literally our enemy as well, because they will be looking out for exactly such a signal.
We should at least get the stronghold set up before we even consider that anyway.
Of course. Are we done here?
That's exactly my point. Thank you.
Okay. I have let this episode go for a little bit too long, so I just wanted you guys to talk through this as much as you could. So we'll be right back with the next episode.